Okay, what's up, fam? So this is going to be my activity for yesterday on Wednesday. So I went out early in the morning, 9 o'clock. I didn't get my first order until about 9:25. So almost a half an hour after I logged in, I got this order here for Einstein. $7, $5 tips, 3.4 miles. Obviously, I took that. I like to pretty much take the first offer, kind of, get the ball rolling. So took that, delivered it, pretty quickly. As you can see by my pin location, I was literally sitting right at Einstein. So got that dropped off. There you go. $7. This is online time, 43 minutes, but 13 minutes for the delivery, almost 30 minutes, waiting for my first order to come through. So got that delivered, no problem, easy peasy. As I was driving, back down, got another order for Einstein again. $3.75, $1.75 tip, 2.6 miles. Now, normally, honestly, I would not have taken this because I don't really take too many orders that are $5 and less. But because the previous day, Veterans Day, really impacted my acceptance rate because I ended up, declining 4 and then I missed 1 supposedly. So I have some ground to make up. So I just went ahead, I took this order, like 375, 175 tip, easy peasy, 2.6 miles. Got that delivered. There you go, 1075. Then shortly after that, I got this human being order. Definitely did not take this. $6.13, $1.13 tip, 10.3 miles. Going way clear past the Air Force Base. Definitely not taking this. That was an easy decline. Shortly after I declined that, I went ahead and got this Culver's order for $7, 3.2 miles, $5 tips. Took this. That was an easy delivery. It was ready when I got there. Dropped it off. No problem at all. 1775. 1 hour and 43 minutes. So as you can see right now, my dollar to time ratio is horrible, but it does get a lot better. I'm going to say, as we go along here, I'm going to try to get through this quickly. It does get a lot better. And this is why I say patience is a virtue. You have to be patient when it comes to this, because even if it's a slow morning, even if it's a slow start, you just got to put in the grind. You got to be patient and the orders will come. As you can see right here, this is how big my zone is. It's a pretty big zone. Okay. And right now, estimated wait window is 3 to 11. So, it is what it is. It's slow is what I'm trying to get across. Like the orders aren't coming in like on a weekend where it's boom, 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 boom. It's more like complete an order, wait 10 minutes, get another order. So, this is just what we got to deal with as drivers. I mean, it is what it is. So shortly after I got this order, 425 McDonald's, 0.9 miles, I was literally by McDonald's. I was across the street. So, I mean, this was like a half a mile drop. So I went ahead and took this, 225 tip. Literally was done with this in 5 minutes. Then there you go, $22. Okay. Now at this point, we are at 2 hours and 7 minutes total online time. So you're looking at $11 an hour. It's not great, right? $11 an hour is not great. But again, that's why I say you just got to be patient, right? We get this order right here, McDonald's again, $6, 2.8 miles. Took that. I was heading back towards that way anyways. As you can see by my pin location, I was coming back up Constitution. And then I got that order from McDonald's. So I got that, dropped it off. Now, the only thing is this did take me out of zone. Not by a lot, probably maybe a mile and a half. I'm out of zone. But it was not that bad. It was still easy to get back. It's not like it took me clear out of zone and I had all these dead miles. I probably maybe had a mile at that. $28, 2 hours and 28 minutes. Okay. And then you get this order. Now I'm out of zone. So this is a perfect order because it's literally heading back to where I would be going anyways. So it's a $7 order for Wendy's, $5 tips, 3.7 miles. These are the orders that I really like because, I'm literally, if you look at where that house location is, that's literally right where I was going to go anyways. That's right there by Carefree, and that's kind of where I hang out. So this was literally taking me right back there for, $7. So easy peasy, dropped that off. Didn't take too long. I think it probably took like maybe 10, 12 minutes to make the $7. There you go, $35 for 2 hours, 45 minutes. 6 out of 7 offers accepted. So just going to keep on rolling here. Okay. Then I got this at Rock and Roll Sushi Hinabachi, $7.50, $5.50 tips for 3.8 miles. Definitely clearly took this. I was not that far off. I just had to jump back on Constitution and then go up Constitution, and it was right there, and then go straight up Mark Shuffle to the customer's house. So I think it probably took me the 14 minutes, if anything, maybe a little bit less, because the order was ready as soon as I walked in the door. So that was a good thing. So got that done. Okay, $42.50 now we're sitting at for 3 hours and 4 minutes. So basically 3 hours, $42.50. So as you can see, my dollar per hour is starting to go up a little bit. It's not drastically jumping, but it's going up a little bit, right? So I'm just, at this point, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to continue rolling here. Have faith that, it'll get busier, that it'll pick up, and, this day will actually be worth something. And then I get this, Noodles and Companies. I did not take this order. It was a $3 order, no tips. Clearly says no tips. 5 miles, upside down. Not taking that, so I declined that. And then I got this from Sophia's, $5 with $3 tips, going 2.9 miles. So I did take that one. I was literally right there by Sophia's, like right across the street. So I grabbed that, 2.9 miles, dropped it off. Had that done within about 10 minutes time. There you go, $47.50. Now we're at 3 hours and 30 minutes, 33 minutes. Okay, 8 out of 10 offers accepted. All right. And then, boom, Big Daddy right here. This is where, it makes your day, right? $24.75. Now, the tips were $22.75 in tips. Now, I was going 10 miles, but it's 2 orders, right? So I look at it as like basically 5 miles per order for, $24.75. This was from Boyle Daddy. I picked up both orders. They were both ready when I got there. And then I dropped them off. Now, this did take me clearly out of zone, but it took me probably like 30 minutes to pick up both orders and drop them off. And then there were some dead miles back. Okay. But still, less than an hour, I made $24.75. There you go. $72.25 for 4 hours and 19 minutes. So now I'm basically one order shy of $20 an hour. Now remember, the very first hour I only made $10. So I went from $10 an hour to almost $20 an hour just a few hours later. And this is why I say it's very, very important to just be patient and just know that as long as you're taking these orders, as long as you're doing the right things, that you will get a decent order that will top the cake. It happens almost all the time. Okay. Now here I logged out, this completed because I was only going to be on until about 2 for the first half of my shift. And this was like at 1:17 and I had to drive back. So I was like, you know what, highway traffic and all that, I'm just going to log out now. And then I'll go back for dinner time. Okay. So that's what I did. So now here we go, right? 4:35. Okay. So 2 to 4:30 is basically what was my break. 4:35. I got this order for Culver's, $6.10. $4.10 of tips, 2.7 miles. Took that, easy peasy all day. There's $6.10. Now this is my dinner shift, right? I get Panda Express, $8.84 plus, $6.84 tips, 2.1 miles. Took that all day. I'm taking these orders. $14.94. We're at 46 minutes. Then I get $9.25, $6 tips, 4.6 miles, Chiba Hut, toasted subs. Again, taking these orders all day long. Let's pick that order up. I dropped that order off. I had it probably done in about 15 minutes. Okay. And then while I was at Chiba Hut, I got an add-on for Perry's Pizzeria, which is literally right next door, plus $7 for 0.2 miles, my guy. 0.2 miles for $7. We taking those all day long. So I picked that one up. It was right next door. So $21.94. That's when I dropped off the Chiba Hut. So now we're 1 hour in at $21.94 for the hour. Then I dropped off the add-on for $7. Now we're at $31.19 for an hour and 17 minutes. Okay. Not bad. A little over an hour and we're at $31. Then I get this offer for $14.25 with $11.25 in tips, going 5.8 miles for Taste of Philly. Took that, definitely. I'm not even thinking twice about it. So I grabbed that, dropped it off. $45.44, okay, for 1 hour and 44 minutes. All right, not bad, right? And then we get this one, $16.50 for Lee sandwiches, $14.50 in tips, going 8.8 miles. Okay, so the miles is a little high, but $16.50, I'm taking that all day long. So I went ahead, I took that, and now it's going to bring me down closer to the airport, so it is definitely bringing me out of zone. No worries. It's at this point, it's like 6:30, it's still early enough. And the traffic is kind of moderate. It's not very heavy at this time, so I know I can get down there, drop the order off, and then get back to zone. So now we're sitting at $61.94 for 2.5 hours. I mean, we're doing really good now, right? And then I get back to zone. Okay, I did get a Safeway shop and deliver. Literally 2 things of ice cream for $4.50 going 1.4 miles. I didn't take that. I'll just be honest. I didn't at this time. It's going on 7:30. I really did not want to have to deal with a shop and order. I mean, even though it's just 2 little things of ice cream. So I did decline that. Okay, then as soon as I declined that, I got this order at Culver's for $5.10 for 2.1 miles. I took that, 10 minutes, dropped it off. Now we're at 67.04 for 2 hours and 56 minutes. And then there was another order I took. It was a Little Caesars. That's where that came from. I forgot to take the screenshot of the offer, but we did a Little Caesars. And I finished that. It gave me $73.29 for 3 hours, and that's where it ended. So that was my dinner rush. Okay, so I did, 5 hours and then 3 hours. But there was a lot of, time in between. So altogether, $73.29 for the dinner. Okay, and if you really look at it, $145.54. 7.5 because I did take a half-hour break in between. So you're looking at actual time, $19.40 per hour, guys. $19.40 per hour. Now keep in mind this is a Wednesday. This is these are kind of numbers. 19 to 20 is kind of what I would do on maybe like a Friday. This was on a Wednesday. Which Tuesdays and Wednesdays, at least in my market, is usually the slowest days, but yesterday was popping. It was really good. So, good day, for that. And I'm gonna go out there this morning. I'm gonna, kill it again today. Hopefully, I can do the same numbers or better. Will give me a good start heading into the weekend. And guys, I hope this was educational. It goes to show you that patience is key. Because there's so many times that we do this and it's so slow and we just want to pack our bags and head home. Like it's not worth it, right? It's like I'm just sitting in a car, I'm not getting orders, but you just got to be patient. Move to a different spot, move to a different area. What I'm saying, wake that algorithm up, and take some of these orders that maybe typically you want to take, and then the algorithm looks at it and it's like, okay, well, he's taken the last 5 offers. Let's bless him. And that's what happened, yesterday. I was getting $7, $8 orders. They're all, positive mileage, but they weren't really nothing big. And then I got hit with that one big one, and that kind of set the tone, and then, I went out last night and, had a couple of decent orders, a 14, a 16, and, kind of helped set the tone for the night. So, I mean, you just got to be patient. You got to kind of, wait and just, see what you